Hello students, welcome to Database Management System tutorial. My name is Bhavna Singh. I am working as an assistant professor at St. Andrews Institute of Technology and Management, Gurgaon. This is an online tutorial series in which we will discuss about database management system. So let's begin today's session with a brief introduction. These are the topics about which we will discuss in today's session, that is database definition, what is database, what is DBMS, what are the characteristics of database, what are the various advantages and disadvantages of database, what are the database users, how many database users are there, what is the difference between data and information, records, field and file. Students, in this lecture we will be discussing about database which is used to store data. So it is very much important for all of us to understand what does this term data means, because this term is repeated again and again throughout the lecture. So you all must know the meaning of data. Data is nothing but unorganized facts, or you can say these are the raw facts. For example, any number, any text, any alphabets, any alphanumeric, all these things are text on which we operate, and these things we process to give a useful information or a useful result. Therefore, it is known as that data is raw, unorganized facts that needs to be processed. And when we do some operations on these raw facts, it becomes a useful output, or you can say a useful result, which is also known as information. Now the next question is, what is database? Why do we use it? Database is nothing but a collection of related data. In this we can store the data in the form of tables, which is known as schemas. And why do we use it? We use it so that we can store the information more in an efficient way and in an organized way, so that whenever we need that information we can retrieve it from the database very easily and very effectively. Let's take an example of a school database. In that database we store all the information about the students, their personal details, their professional details, their details regarding to their accounts department, regarding to their library system. So likewise we store all the details about the students in a database, so that whenever we need it we can use it, or we can extract the information from that database. And in this diagram you can see that the data is stored in a tabular form. So in DBMS we refer table as relation and refer tuple as row and column as attributes. Now comes one of the main questions, that what is the need of database? Why do we need it? And the answer for this question is, database manages a large chunks of data very efficiently, very effectively. Every university, every organization, hospitals, banks, all these maintain their own database in order to keep track of the data. And if there is no database, then keeping track of all these details and keeping all these information would not be possible. Let's take an example. Suppose if there is no such database system in a college, then assessing information of a particular student would become a very much difficult task, and a person has to manually search all the records of that student till they find the relevant student. So assessing all the information about that particular student would be very much complicated. So that is why we maintain database, so that whenever we need it we can retrieve the data quickly and very easily. So till now we have studied about what is database, what is data, what is the need of data. So the next question that comes to our mind is, who is responsible for managing this data, for doing all the operations on this database? Is it a person or a software that is doing all these things, that is managing the database in a very effective manner? So the answer to all these questions is DBMS. DBMS means Database Management System. It is a software that is used for storing, retrieving, manipulating and managing the data in the database. It can be used for creation of a database, retrieving information from a database, updating any details to the database and managing the database. So it provides us with many functionalities and help us to maintain the data. Nowadays many popular DBMS softwares are there. For example, people use MySQL, Microsoft Access, Oracle, SQL Server, and we can extract the information from the database with the help of queries. The DBMS software, it accepts the SQL commands or SQL queries generated from variety of users, then it produces it into a query evaluation plans and returns the answers. Database management system also does the following functions. Like first one is defining data. Defining data means it allows the users to create, modify, or it can delete any details from the database. Then the second one is update data, which means it provides access to the users to insert or to modify, to delete any data from the database. For example, if we want to update a roll number of a student from roll number 1 to roll number 10, then it can be that updation can be done easily by the DBMS. Third one is retrieve data. Retrieving means extracting, that allows the users to extract data from the database based on the requirements. And the most important function is administration of users. That means it registers the users and monitor their action. It enforces data security also, maintain data integrity, monitors all the performance of the users in order to prevent from some unauthorized access. Now we'll discuss about the organization of database. Basically, database is organized into these four kinds, that is the relational database, flat database, object-oriented database, and hierarchical database. So let us discuss relational database first. In relational database, the data is organized in the form of tables. As we have already discussed that in DBMS, tables are also called as relation. So in relational database, we store the data in the form of tables. And we can create the relationship among these tables with the help of common field, or you can say with the help of shared data. So whenever the term relational comes, that means it is storing the data in the form of tabular form. Second one is flat database. It is a simple database which consists of a single table, and in this table we store all the records as single rows of data, and we can separate these data with the tabs or with commas, and we can represent it as a simple text files. So from exam point of view also, it is very much important to all of you to understand the difference between relational database and flat database. In flat database, we are maintaining a single table structure, but in relational database, we are maintaining a multiple table structure. Third one is object-oriented database. This type of database system, they uses small softwares which are known as objects. And in this, data is organized similarly to the object-oriented programming concepts, in that we use the concept of classes and objects. Let's take a simple example that in a class, every single student is an object, and all the students, they collectively known as a class. So the final one is hierarchical database. In this, the data is stored in a tree-like structure, or it is representing a hierarchical relationship with each other. In that database, nodes of the tree, it represents the records, and the branches of the tree, it represents the fields. Now let us discuss some characteristics of the database. The first one is it represents some aspects of real world applications. That means DBMS itself correlates with the real world, and it uses the concept of entities and attributes. So what do you mean by entity and attributes? Entity is any object that exists in the real world, and attribute is the properties of that object. Let's suppose a student is an entity in a school database, and there its name and his or her age is the attributes of that student. Second one is it manages information. DBMS manages the information very effectively, and it manages all the information that is required to us, and it provides us whenever we need that information. Third one, easy operation implementation. This means that using DBMS we can easily insert or delete or update any record easily in the database, and all these operations can be done very easily if a user has some knowledge of the queries or some knowledge of the commands. Next one is data for specific purpose. That means we design database for a particular or for a specific purpose. For example, for a student database. If we talk about a student database, it is maintained to enter the records of the student name, its marks, fees, attendance, etc. Next one is it provides security and removes redundancy. What is the term means redundancy? Redundancy means it removes duplicacy of data. And by using the concept of normalization, it splits a particular table into multiple tables whenever its attributes is having redundancy in values. And in terms of security, it also provides many features like it provides users login to all the particular users, and any user cannot access it or access a database without a password. For example, a person in sales department, it cannot see the data that belongs to a purchase department. So these were the basic characteristics of the database that makes it more efficient. Now these are the advantages and disadvantages of DBMS. Let us first consider about the advantages. First one is it controls data redundancy. As we have already discussed that redundancy means duplication of data, and DBMS controls redundancy, because in DBMS we are storing all the data of the organization or of the college in a single place, and it is not scattered among multiple files. So like this we are not creating the multiple copies of the same data. So this is how it controls redundancy. The second one is data consistency. Here consistency means stable, and if we are controlling redundancy, then we are making our data consistent. For example, we are storing our data at one place only and we need to update the details of this data. So in that case we have to perform the updation only at one place, and that updated value can be easily available to all the users. So it means if our data is not redundant, then it is consistent. Now next one is data sharing. Data sharing means the different users, or you can say the authorized users of a particular organization, they can share the data among themselves, and these sharing rights are given to them by the database administrators. The DBA manages the data and it gives rights to users to access the particular database. Next one is integrity constraints. Integrity constraints means we are applying certain rules so that only the correct data can be entered into the database. For example, if we have applied a primary key constraint to a particular column, then the value of those columns cannot be repeated or left blank. Or if we have applied not null constraint, then that means a column cannot contain empty values. Now let us discuss about the disadvantages, because everything comes with the pros and cons. So like that way database too has some disadvantages also along with the advantages. First disadvantage is cost of hardware and software. Setting up a DBMS environment is a little bit expensive process, because we need high speed processors and large size memories to run that DBMS softwares. The softwares also are very much costly. Then cost of staff training, because DBMS is a very complex system, so therefore training for the users is required so that they can use the DBMS system very effectively. And we need to appoint technical staffs, because we need trained or skilled persons like database administrators to handle the database, to manage all the database, which cost a little bit expensive. And there is some chance of database failures also, because all the data is stored at one place only, and due to some power failure or something our data is corrupted, then we may lost our data in that case and the whole system crashes. Now let us discuss about the database users, that who all are using the database for different purposes. Like some are using it to retrieve the data, some are using it for the recovery purpose, and all these permissions to these users to access the database is given by the database administrators. So we have basically three types of users, that is the administrators, designers and end users. Here administrators means the database admin, or you can say the database administrator, that is the DBA, who is responsible for managing the entire database system. He is the one who is responsible for handling all the operations that are implementing on the database, giving rights to all the users. So DBA is like a managing director of the database. Designers are the persons who are actually working on the designing part, that is writing codes for the applications using various programming languages. They build the application programs to interact with databases. And the end users are the people who interact with the database, and they conduct various operations like retrieving, updating and deleting data from the databases. Here are the applications of DBMS. DBMS is used almost in every field nowadays. like in many companies, banking, airlines, universities, colleges, sales department, finance department, all these are using DBMS to keep track of their data. For example, in banking, it is used for customer information, their account activities, payments, deposits, loans. So all these things are maintained by the DBMS in the banking sector. Secondly, in airlines, we use DBMS for reservations or for scheduling informations, and in universities and colleges, we use DBMS to maintain the records of the students. In telecommunication sector, it helps to keep call records, monthly bills, maintaining all the balances. In the sales department, we use DBMS for storing the customer information, product information, and all the sales information. In finance sector, for storing information about the stocks. So like these ways, DBMS is contributing its benefits in almost all the fields, and without DBMS it would be very much complicated to manage the data. Students, many of us think that data and information both are similar things, but it is not like that. We have to understand the difference between data and information. As you can see in the diagram, that we are processing the data to get the useful result, and that useful result is known as the information. Suppose we require the sum of two numbers, that is 5 and 3. So 5 and 3 are the inputs that we are giving to the machine, and that machine, it processes that numbers, and it provides the sum as 8. So the output that we get after processing of that raw facts is known as the information. So data is the raw facts, or you can say unorganized facts, that we need to process it to make it a useful thing. And when we perform some operations on these data, it becomes the useful result, and which is known as the information. Data never depends on the information, because we are collecting it from different sources, and information completely depends upon the data so as to make it useful. We cannot use a raw data for decision making, but if a person has some useful information, that is the processed form of data, then he can use that useful information for making some decisions also. So now it becomes clear that data is the raw input that we provide to the machine, and that machine, it performs the operations on that raw data, and it provides us the useful information. Now these are the important terms that are widely used in DBMS system. We will discuss each one of them with the help of this table. As you can see in this table, that field defines the individual element of a particular column. For example, in this table, serial number, item name, quantity, price, all these are the individual fields, and the record is the complete set of fields. That means each single row of this table is the record of this table. So in short, we can say that fields are the table columns and records are the rows. And collection of all the records in this table, that is the item name, quantity, price, this belongs to a file, single database file. So therefore we define a file as a collection of records. Let us talk about one another example. For example, consider a student table where student name, student address, age, all these are the fields, and the entire details that we fill into that table are known as the records. So guys, in today's session we have done about the basic introduction of database with its characteristics and advantages, disadvantages. In the next session we'll continue with the components and architecture of DBMS. I hope you have understood the session and the session was fruitful for you. So after studying all these concepts, these are the important questions that you should prepare, and these are important from the examination point of view also. And if you face any kind of difficulty, you can refer to the lecture notes also. Thank you everyone for watching.